So we've just had the 2023 Super Bowl in which Rihanna performed for the halftime show, and then Donald Trump put out a tweet. Epic fail. Oh, by the way, I should probably mention also that the Super Bowl this year also marked 12 years since anyone's gone online and used the phrase epic fail. But the tweet said something like, epic fail, it's the single worst halftime show in Super Bowl history. It helps to know that Rihanna was openly critical of Trump during his presidency and it hurt his feelings, so I think he's out for revenge. Now, calling something the single worst halftime show in the history of the Super Bowl is a bold claim considering that it's been going since 1967. The halftime show as we know it started around the middle of the 90s. You know, where they get some multi-Grammy award-winning artists to come on and do a medley of songs. It sort of began in 1993 with Michael Jackson, although it still probably took a couple of years for that to catch on. I think in 94 they had some medley of country music and Bad Mullets, and then in 95 Disney hijacked it, showing off some upcoming Indiana Jones ride.
Bring to me the trophy!
And then at the end they sang a song off of The Lion King for some reason. However, the tweet did make reference to the entire history of the Super Bowl. As much as I'd rather just avoid talking about Donald Trump altogether these days, I think there might be some interesting discussion we could have there. We could maybe just look back on some halftime shows from Super Bowl history and see what kinds of things they've had in the past. Bearing in mind that the context of this would suggest that all of these shows were better than Rihanna's performance. The first Super Bowl's halftime show consisted of a man who came on and did a demonstration of his jetpack, and he hovered off the ground for a few seconds and then landed it again, and that was it. Fast forward to 1978, it was Disney with a special guest of some lights. It was Alice in Wonderland, Pete's Dragon. Yeah, we're going to look at some from the 80s here. 1983.
Super Bowl 17's halftime Kaleidoscope.
The following year, 84, Disney stuff. Then the following year, 85, a man hovered a few inches off the ground with a jetpack and then landed it again. 1987, Disney again, featuring Mickey Rooney.
It's even better when a Sunday football game.
Better than the Super Bowl?
Yup.
Looks like it's just the same goofy costume as the one they used last time. Hopefully they washed it. 1989, they had this magic show by an Elvis impersonator called Elvis Presto.
I promise you, you're gonna find this card trick's gonna blow your mind. But first you have to pick a card.
And a fun time was had by all. So now we get onto the 90s. 1991. Let's see. Oh, it's Disney again. They were trying to do some big patriotic message, something to do with the Gulf War, because the Gulf War was going on at that time. The Gulf War only lasted a few weeks, and then this performance had some special appearance by New Kids on the Block. Their career lasted less time than the Gulf War and just a little bit more time than this halftime performance. So all in all, this is the most January 1991 thing that you could ever watch. 1992, a load of people just messing around on some ice. We already talked about 95, but yeah, it was Disney again. Thankfully they settled on the formula the following year and they just got Diana Ross to come on and do some songs. Maybe they got better in the new millennium. Let's just have a look at the year 2000. Oh look, it's a load of pop stars singing some Disney songs. In later years there was this performance by Shania Twain, which I can't use any footage of, for copyright reasons. Normally you can put live music versions and things like that on videos, but she just mimed along to the CD, so make what you will of that performance. The following year, Janet Jackson famously ended her career right there and then in one night after a wardrobe malfunction. There was that Black Eyed Peas performance where the sound balance was all over the place. Fergie was trying to sound like Axl Rose. So that's a basic history of some of the performances that we've had in the history of the Super Bowl. I suppose you could just make up your own mind whether or not that's actually worse than whatever Rihanna did the other day. But Donald Trump certainly seems to think that the Rihanna one is the worst one. Maybe Donald Trump just loves Disney.
Why do I like Disney so much? Probably because I'm quite thick.